Hey there. Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? Welcome. What is this? This is Thursday, right? Welcome to the Thursday edition of Charts and Targets. Hello, everybody. This is Rick Sadler with Hitman Candlesticks. If you didn't know, or if you are just joining us, I want to welcome all the members here. Joe, welcome. Hey, Joe, I am feeling better. Yes, yesterday was a little better. I think I feel a little better today. Uh, we're getting there. We're on the right track. Thank you for asking. Good morning, Ed. Good morning, JW, Mike, Donna. Good morning, Chip. Good morning to you, Joe, Dumplings, Bill, Sonny. Great big good morning. Let me get us over here. There we go. All right. I think everything's in place. Hey, again, this is Thursday. This is Thursday, May 25th, 2025. We do go live here at 8:45 Eastern AM, Monday through Friday. I say Friday, most Fridays. Some Fridays I take completely off, but most Fridays. And if those that are watching this on the replay, and you'll get a replay in about an hour or a little bit less, then if you'd like to watch it live, then please join us either in YouTube, X, or Facebook. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like it, leave a comment. And if you don't like it, if you want to see changes, leave that comment, subscribe. We sure would appreciate that. All right, let's take a look at this market a little bit. So yesterday, bonds gave us a little bit of a problem and pushed the market down. You can see that we crossed the T line yesterday, closing below the T line on the SPY here. And then this morning, we're opening up below the T line, kind of peeking down into this area right here. And I think that's very, very possible. We ended up buying some Q puts yesterday, and it looks like we're going to do pretty well this morning here. Do much better if it would drop a little bit further. And right now, I don't see any reason why it's going to take off and run necessarily. So we'll just sit and monitor that. One thing I'm looking for on this, if you draw a line from this top down to what I've got it here is, what is that, about the May 6-7 low? Where is it here? Yeah, May 6-7 low, right in there. Your 50% mark is right here, right there. And there is a real possibility we get down there, and that just gets price sniffing around the gap over here. And if the gap, and if price feels like it needs to get into that gap and fill it, which sometimes it does, then that puts us right in here, about that 200 period moving average, which would make a lot of sense when it comes to price coming back to moving averages. So I'm all for that. Let's do that, right? And let's collect some money on those Q puts, and then we'll watch for a bounce moving up. I am not at a point where I think the market is, dying, rolling over dead, forgotten forever. But the market does deserve to pull back a little bit. Don't ever be mad at a market when it pulls back. That's actually opportunity. It's actually doing you a favor when it pulls back a little. So that's the way I'm looking at this right now. Yesterday, T2123 gave us all the signals we needed. You can see it start to roll over right in here on the hourly. We rolled under the T line, started tapping on the trend indicator, and we actually turned red here toward the end of the day. VXX started to climb. When VXX starts to climb, 2123 starts to drop, the market doesn't like to go up. It's that simple. So the handwriting was on the wall. It really came down to just a little weakness moving in the market there. Okay. Sure thought there was something else I was going to say. Can't remember it. A few things. Let's see. Well, yeah. What we did yesterday is I closed out half my CLS, still holding half, but I closed half because I was getting in the 106% neighborhood. And I thought, well, I better take some profits off the table. I was sharing that in the trading room, and one member said, well, at least sell half of it. So that's what I did. So I sold half of that for 106. Yeah, 106%. It's still setting up. It still looks pretty good. I'm going to monitor it. The last thing in my world I want is for the second 100% to go to the birds here. So I'll keep an eye on that and take profits if I need to. We also closed VST for a 10% gain, not a big one, but I didn't want that. If the market's starting to roll over, I didn't want those profits just to simply disappear. So I took that one off the table, and I will look to get back in it if it gives us the alert to move back up. And anytime we buy and sell, I post out to the members room and to the app that we have what we're doing with it. So if anyone would like to make sure that you get those alerts, please make sure that app is downloaded. Okay. What else do we have? What else? No, I guess nothing. Let's take a look at some charts. Okay. So yesterday, like I said, went short some Qs. Be careful not to chase today. One of the important things with trading is timing, and sometimes we miss that we miss an opportunity. We miss the open window to grab something, and then all of a sudden it starts running at some point, and then we jump on board. But by then, that run might be out of it, and then it starts looking to bounce, and then we're always behind the curve, and that's timing. So be careful on that. Now, I can't say this is going to, continue down. I'm going to watch it this morning. We'll see what happens. But and just be careful not to chase. Here's some stocks that I'm looking at. If the market continues to fall, SDS, the inverse ETFs are pretty nice charts to look at. I've mentioned this before, but years ago, I never shorted. And somebody turned me on to the inverse ETFs, and it's one of the best things that they could have ever done. Most people, 99% of all traders, learn how to trade long first. You become better at long, and then you think, well, I guess I better learn how to short, But you never jump in with both feet. Now, I'm not saying that's true for everybody, but most traders, retail traders, us, they just don't jump in with both feet and don't take it seriously. It's more of all right, I'm going to short this and I'm going to hope. Well, you don't have to do that. Just take a look at SDS, for example. You trade that completely the way you would trade a long, and it would be shorting the S&P 500. Take QID as an example. Look at QID here, trying to come up. Trade it just like you would a long. SQQQ. This is one of my favorites to trade right here. SQQ. Notice the pricing too. If you go to trade the Qs, you're looking at $513 here. If you go to trade SQQQ, $24.50. Huge price difference. And here we've got a nice little bottom. We're not over the T line yet, but we might be trying to move that up. And when I trade something like this, I'm actually watching the Qs more than I'm watching this. Watching the Qs, as long as it continues to fall, weaken up, this will continue to strengthen up. And if you look here, let's do this. If we take, we better get rid of everything now. There we go. So let's just take from this top right here down, just like that. The 50% retracement is up here about the 50 period moving average. So from here up, we're looking at 34%. So I'm pretty sure there could be some money made in here if the Qs continue to fall. Okay, that's going to be important. So keep an eye on those. TZA is another one. Look at that. So take IWM as an example. Here's IWM. Try that again. There we go. Look at IWM here. Do you see how IWM could fall to that 50 period moving average? And it wouldn't miss a step by doing it. Just a simple move down. It's already got the gap in here. We've already fallen. We've showed the weakness. We're breaking the T line. We're right at the trend indicator here. So just a simple move down. That might bring in buyers, but what that will do is TZA, is that will start lifting that up. And when it lifts that up, if you're in it, well, that's a moneymaker right there. So keep an eye on those inverse ETFs, okay? Sorry, I need to wet my whistle. Not that I can whistle, but I need to talk. Okay. On the long side, let's look at some long trades too. I mean, because the market could turn around here. Take a look at ON. I think ON is a dynamite looking rounded bottom breakout chart pattern here. We've got a nice rally up. 200s up here, dotted deuce right there. They make for fantastic targets. So we'll put the lines in there like that. I think I also want to put, sorry, I can't talk and do that at the same time. Put our quadrant lines in. And there's the 50% retracement. So that really stands out to me. So there we go there. So if we get to breaking out here on ON, what I would be looking for is first that move up to the dotted deuce there, which is 14%. And then up here at that 50% retracement, which is 20%. So that makes for a pretty good target. I kind of like that. Yeah. So ON for a long on my watch list. Let's not forget about AMD. I know a lot of people throw sticks and stones at AMD, but be careful. You know, don't throw sticks and stones at something you don't really know anything about. You hear people, or maybe you've had one bad trade because they didn't do what you wanted. So I hear, well, I'm never going to trade AMD again. Like it was AMD's fault that you lost money, you know? It's not that way. Anyway, give it a watch. I've got an alert set here of about 1:15:07. And when that starts to alert me, I'm going to maybe enter that and then run right up here for a nice little 7, maybe 8, 9% on the stock, or option wise, which that's what I'll do is buy an option. You know, that turns into a 15, maybe a 20% option trade. I'll let it bounce around the 20 or 200. We'll see what it does. And then maybe buy more or buy it again for that next move up. So keep an eye on AMD. How about ZM? Look at ZM here. ZM is a great looking 3/8 trap here. I don't know. My drawing tool's doggone it this morning. So nice rally up. Here we have a nice little pullback. We're setting up in that 3/8 trap right now. This looks like an excellent buy. So I think I'm going to have to keep an eye on that one right there. Target upward. Let's just move. Well, probably going to go about here. We've got a little bit of resistance over here on the left. We've got that high. So that'd be the first target. And then the next target up here about, I'll just put about 88. Speaking of 3/8 traps, I heard a rumor yesterday. Okay. I'm not going to give any dates. I'm not going to give any information other than the rumor that I heard that Doug from our Right Way options division is agreed to do a 3/8 trap class. So keep your emails open, keep the airwaves open. And when that information pops out, I will certainly scream it out there to you. And I couldn't, I highly recommend that if you are interested in the 3/8 trap and how to trade it in depth from somebody that this is probably 100% of his trades are done from the 3/8 trap. I may be wrong on that. You're more than welcome to correct me on that. But like I said, I heard a rumor it's coming. So, hey, Joe, best class you've ever taken. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. Let's see. Anything? Let's look at any charts you guys have. Good morning over here from, I see YouTube, I see Facebook, I see X. Thank you very much, you guys, for being here. Hey, don't forget, while you're there, give us a subscribe, and give us a thumbs up. Sure would appreciate that. All right, let's see. Wolf. There we go, Wolf. Long. Well, yeah, I think it's setting up long there. I have to do this a little longhand. I'm afraid I didn't open my drawing tool this morning. You got a nice little pennant forming in here, 3/8 trap. So simple 3/8 trap rules there. And then, of course, profit-taking rules. But here we've got a gap up. It's just running up. Trend indicator looks good. I see no reason at all to look at that one as a trade. Would you agree, Hydro? Would you agree? Good morning, yeah. And space. Let's take a look at space. Space. SPCE. There we go. That's another nice looking chart. Thank you. That's not it. What am I doing wrong? SPCE. SP. CE. Oh, finally. There we go. Finally. Yeah, there's another one. You know what? I'm going to flag that one. Thank you. I did not have that on the watch list, and I'm going to throw that one up there because that's right up my alley. Here we have a nice bottom that's being put in. When I say a nice bottom, it's come down, it's tested, and now it's making some highs, trending up here. Big pop, big volume comes in, knocks it up like that. Here we pull back a little bit, and now this is where we might start look to buy it, is in this area. So thanks again for that. I'm going to set that one up, and I'll set alert up for that one as a buy. So thank you. Hey, Coach, how you doing? You bought some snow 3 days ago. I heard this morning the earnings were pretty good on it. Would you sell half or cash on? Anytime you get a gift given to you, I would take it. So selling half to me would be absolutely. In this market, honestly, we're one text away from 5% move up, 5% down. So anytime you get some good profits, lock them in, because you just never know what might happen 5 minutes from now. So yeah. Take half and then you're good. Then then at that amount, you're probably playing with the house's money. So that would be good. Yeah. Hey, MW, how are you? Can we check ACHR? Sure. ACHR, it may be trying to set up. This is actually a really, really nice chart. So what does a person do? You've got to watch this chart for a buy. Now, wait. I'm gonna want to see a bullish candle, and I'm gonna want to see that candle show me some strength. And if it's I'm sorry, I can't draw a candle right now. Sorry, I forgot to get those tools up. But right now, if this opened up and then closed up over the T line, that just might be a pretty decent buy right in there. So yes, I think so. You can see how this is. We've come down, up, down a little lower. We've got our bottom. We've started to run up. Trend indicator has gone red to green. I'm going to flag that one. Thank you very much. Very nice chart. Left. A YFT. Apologize, sniffing and throat sounding rough. Just getting over that flu. F moving sideways. You're going to need to see some buyers, because until you do, that trend, the trend could go all the way down. So we need to see something to stop that continued to move down. And just a little pre-market doji is a far cry from a reversal signal. So you need to see the proof in that. Chart-wise, it's absolutely a chart that I think you'd want on the watch list. You've got that run up, pullback. It's what you want. Absolutely. What else? Oklo, that's already on our watch list there, Oklo. And you can see it's setting up a 3/8 trap. I've got an alert set. I believe my alerts is set around that 38, 35 up here. I don't want to buy it low. I want to buy when buyers are buying it. So you go ahead and buy it, knock it out of the park, push it up, catch my attention, and I think I might buy some too. I would be very, very cautious of this candle and the fact these candles have made tops. That's what's concerning me on Oklo. What else do we have? AAL. AAL still in the downtrend. That needs to change. Unless you're just a secret down here, but that needs to change. And when it does, then it would be that buy in there. Outside of that, if you look, this is, catching your eye. If you look at this back here, this right here is what's made it do this. Beautiful chart. Absolutely beautiful. Timing, though, when to buy it. That's the big question. And so that's what you've got to, share that. What trips your trigger here? The immediately on the open, if it starts breaking that trend line, back over the T line, what works for you? Everyone's different, and everyone wants to know too, believe me. But very nice chart. And then HIMS. Same cell. I could ditto. Same thing on HIMS. Okay, so what's your entry story? You clearly a great stock picker, but how about tomorrow? Why don't you share your entry story? But clearly a great stock picker. Love your charts. Hey, Val, how are you? OP, what is that? RA. There we go. Look at that trend. Man, I'll tell you, when you use something a lot and you don't have it, it really hurts. My drawing tools is what I speak of right now. Look at that trend. Look at those green dots. That's beautiful. And then there I go to reach for that trend again. See how this just squared away right here? Let's see if I can do this. See how that's squared away? Now look how this just did it again. That's a beautiful chart. So now watch for the buy. Again, what I mentioned earlier to MW. What is your trigger mechanism to buy it? This is important. I can come through here and, I can look at charts like this. I can tell you good charts. I can tell you bad charts. Okay, they all look great, right? I can just keep going down, flipping those charts and doing that. But what's your trigger point? I encourage people in the room to share as much as they can. Your buys, your sells, whys, why nots, I really don't think it's hard to learn how to find a good chart. It's when you see a chart that makes a certain design, it's like some people like horses better than they like giraffes. So you look for horses. So go look for horses, right? Well, now the next key part is what's the mechanism in your brain that makes you want to buy that? Let's share that one day. Okay. This is a group where everybody gets together. It's free to the public. And, let's put some info out there. Okay. MW says right away he likes a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1, the best. Dig deeper. Like, where would be the entry? Where would be the entry? Like, I can clearly say right now on HIMS, I could clearly say I want an entry at about 57.80. I can clearly say that. And if it doesn't get there, and if the chart drops down tomorrow, well, I will adjust that entry and I will be able to clearly tell you that entry again. So, it's like we dance around the meat and potatoes. We dance around that all the time. So I'm just trying to urge to share, to give, and you'll be amazed what you get back. Okay. So I'm sorry. Let's get back into this. Beautiful chart there. Rick, what is your dotted? Oh, this line here. It's a linear regression line, is what it is. I guess this is what you mean. Your dotted. Yeah, I think that's what you mean. This is a linear regression line of a moving average, and the moving average I'm using today, which I used yesterday, is the 9 EMA low is what it is. And what I'm trying to do is find a happy medium. I wouldn't engrave that number in stone. Okay. I changed that around a little bit. But I'm looking to straighten out a moving average is what I'm trying to do. And I've yet to find the exact moving average I want, because it'll be a combination of, over time, it's got to prove itself. Not that it's 100%. Nothing is 100%. But I want it to prove itself, make me confident. I'm going through the same process that I did with the dotted deuce, and it takes time. It may take months to work that out, to become happy with it. So thanks for asking. What else do we have here? Any other? Actually, maybe it's time to go. So I see here bulls are maybe trying to step back in. The big key will be for them to follow through. We could draw a line like this right now. So something like that, maybe. Like that. So what we're going to need is for the bulls to break through. If they come up and fail there, that might set us up for a high, low, lower high. So be careful there, okay? Be very, very careful. The market overall remains bullish, but we are at a spot where the market is going to try to prove that it's got some muscle, and it just might not have the muscle to make all-time new highs. But that's what it's trying to get to. Just keep an eye on the chart and remember to follow the trend, okay? Thanks, everybody. We'll see you at the bottom of the hour when the market opens up. Thank you.